Alright guys, hey, Charming here. Welcome to my new vlog. I know it seems like I'm doing a lot, but I am. Podcasts, vlogs, editing, and website design. I don't know, I think I skipped 5, whatever. So, pretty sure I'm gonna end up naming it Vloggin Realness just because I think that's really cute. Your guy Charming here. I just got a few things I want to talk about, specifically, namely, my day yesterday regarding the fall equinox spiritual celebration that I talked about on my podcast and then on my blog. So I was really upset because the blog that I posted ended up getting deleted, most of it. I was extremely upset. I was like, I spent 2 hours on this blog. I did research, I did everything. I said, no ma'am, no sir, I'm not doing this. I was so upset, but I think I just error, just you get more from the vlog. But anyway, so one of the biggest things I want to talk about was spiritual celebrations and what they are, why they differ from just regular parties and celebrations and stuff like that. But so probably the biggest portion of a spiritual celebration, of why it's different than everything else, it's just because it's really formal, which just pretty much means you plan it ahead of time. By the way, I hope my glasses ain't distracting y'all, because this is distracting me so much. I don't wear the glasses normally, and yeah. But anyway, so it's really formal. So you plan it ahead of time, so that way you can fully indulge in all the stuff. So sometimes, I think I said in my blog, some of the biggest reasons to plan it is just, one, so you have a good itinerary of what's going to go down, what you're going to do. 2, if you need to take off of work, plan ahead of time so you can get the stuff together. 3, get resources, that kind of stuff. At a party, you just have a good time, time, the mindfulness and the enjoyment ends during the celebrate, whenever everybody leaves. With the spiritual celebration, the mindfulness continues on. You're being mindful the entire time of the celebration, of why you're celebrating, whatever it is, whether it's a birthday, whether it's somebody's, I was about to say birth, birthday or born day, whatever, or whether you're celebrating like I did yesterday, the season change. Why are they out there fighting? Or if you're celebrating the season change, you're being mindful of it, but then continuously, there's you can basically celebrate it every day in your own little way, informally, but there comes that formal, ceremony that I was talking about, that makes things differently. So why should we have spiritual celebrations? I was reading a book, and this is mostly why I'm gonna have the vlog, because I really want my vlog to take what I'm learning and what I'm reading in these books and apply it to real life, apply it to how I understand it. And I think that's why I want to call it Vloggin Realness, because I want to take something and put it into a vlog and kind of talk about practical application in real life with it, what it actually means, and if it's something that you can actually do, or things that you're actually learning or living through, or whatever kind of stuff like that. So anyway, I read it in a book, and the guy was talking about one of the biggest reasons of why you want to have a spiritual celebration is just because it allows you to kind of connect or reconnect with things that are bigger than you and I. You whether you believe in a certain type of deity, whether you believe in whatever it is, we all are part of something bigger than just our individual selves. And we do that, and we celebrate it by doing spiritual celebrations where we are just pretty much mindful. It has nothing to do with religion. Spirituality and religion they're not synonymous. They're two different things. Yes, if you are part of a religion, you might have spirituality, but that's because spirituality is, your morals, things you believe in. It's how you feel about life and all that kind of stuff. And so it can go hand in hand with religion, because a religion has a lot of different ideals that are built upon spirituality. But spirituality is not religion. So just to all of you out there who might be concerned about how I don't believe in any religion, I don't follow any different whatever, you can do spiritual celebrations. It's just mostly a mindful celebration of being mindful, understanding and thinking about what's going on, processing in your brain to a deeper level, that kind of thing. But he explains that spiritual celebrations are they're just a way to reconnect with other things and to think about it and to be conscious, and then to continue that consciousness throughout the days, or weeks or months or whatever the thing may be. A lot of people engage in spiritual celebrations don't even realize it when they make like a New Year's resolution, for instance. So with New Year's resolutions, it's not, most of them are not as fun, but there are some people who have a full party, where they invite friends over. They all like share stories from the year. They reflect. They look to the future and think about what they can do in the future, what they want to cut out. And then they talk about, plans with resolutions and all that kind of stuff. That is a spiritual celebration. It's planned out in advance for the most part. And you're being mindful of the year you've had and what you want to change. You're being mindful of what the year, the year flipping, the year around, or the new year. You're being mindful of what the new year means to you. And that's a spiritual celebration in its own thing. And so, traditionally, we all grew up with certain spiritual celebrations like that. So we kind of understand the basis of like a New Year's resolution kind of spiritual celebration without even like knowing that that's what we're doing. But one of the biggest things that is difficult is celebrating, spiritually for other things when you've never even thought about it, especially haven't heard of it, never practiced it. It can be difficult. And so a big thing today that I want to talk about is kind of reviewing how my day went yesterday, with participating in my spiritual celebration of the fall equinox. So real quickly, like the change of the seasons from summer to fall or autumn is just kind of the purpose of it is, or so what it is when the days go from the brightest time, and things were blossoming from the spring, and you reaped a lot of rewards from the spring and growing and whatnot, and enjoyment, happiness. The sun was out the longest during the summertime. The change to fall represents the changing back into a harvest time, where it's time to start not planting, but like after you plant stuff in the spring, things grow, and then the summertime, you reap that stuff. The fall is just that harvest time for you to go ahead and not only did they grow, now it's just time to pull it out and say, well, this is what I've planted, earlier in the year. It had the sunlight, it had the time to grow. Now it's the time to reap, actually like take those things that I've planted and reap those rewards, the pumpkin, or I don't even, look, I'm not the smartest, I don't know where pumpkins grow, but the carrots that are growing, the carrots are ready to be pulled out, and it's time to eat them. The purpose of the fall, and why I really was enjoying the fact that I can do fall as my first one, is because I really understand fall. I love fall because it's my birthday season. I think it's the prettiest outside because all the colors change. There's so much change and transformation from the summer to the fall, and so I really love that. And so what it really means for me is it's a time to reflect on all the things that I've done and planted into the world and planted in myself, the things that I have, the challenges that I've had during the summertime with, trying to get water and sunlight to help me grow. I have dealt with a lot over the last 2 seasons, and it's been really difficult. There was lots of trying times where I didn't think the seeds that I was planting in myself and the seeds that I was planting, there was a lot of times where I felt like the plants and the seeds that I was planting just like were not going to survive the brutal, harsh heat of the summer, if you know what I mean, in a figuratively manner. I just barely even got the chance to plant the seed. I just barely got the chance in the springtime take the time and like plant myself into something and say, this is what I'm gonna do. I was having a hard time. It felt like I was just digging and digging and digging to find good soil to stand on, and even when I found good soil, it wasn't good, or it wasn't right, or it wasn't the way I wanted it to. And that calls for even more stress, because then I'm trying to do what I should be doing naturally, and that's trying to get better or at least plant myself somewhere or find some kind of solace or security or whatnot. And it got so difficult, like I said, and I just did not think I was even going to make it out of the spring. I made it through the spring. I planted myself in some really good foundations, really good people and support, and the summertime came and it was just like the heat turned up. And there was many times where I did not think I was going to make it. I didn't think I was going to make it at least to the fall or to my birthday. There was many times I didn't want to. So I'm really happy to be able to celebrate it, the fall coming, just because I made it to the fall. That's not something that everybody can say. I actually know people who have not made it here, and they've lost the battle to, their illness, and it's difficult. It's difficult, but I'm glad that I'm here. One thing I have learned is that I do have a gift, and I might not know the best things. I say it in my my live streams all the time, like in my blogs, like I don't know the path. I don't have the right direction. I'm trying every possible thing. I am trying every possible thing to get better, and I'm not my focus isn't to help others per se, but my focus is, like I said, it's just to give community to others, because I know how much it sucks to struggle through these things. And at least, like, I don't need to help other people, but at least if somebody knows that somebody else out there really truly is feeling the same exact way, like, and it allows them to feel validated, then that's one less person we have to lose to the battle. And that losing people to the battle feels like it's like breaking me down all the time. It's something that I'm willing to fight for, something I really truly believe in. And so I'm really grateful that I made it to the fall. This is the time for me to kind of show my true colors, just like leaves and whatnot they show their true colors. They change different colors, different shades. It's time for me to, just all the things that I've dealt with the last few seasons, to reap those rewards, whether they're good or bad. I sowed a lot of good things in the last few seasons, the last few months. I sowed a lot of good things into myself. Started this podcast, started the website, the community, worked on getting separated from the Marine Corps. I've done a lot of that stuff, but I also have I've definitely sowed a lot of bad seeds, not eating, starving, purging, continuing my addictions and cravings and acting out. I've done a lot of bad things as well against myself, cutting myself up. There's a lot of things that I do understand that this fall will be challenging for, because you don't always sow the seeds that you want. You don't always reap the rewards you want, and you don't always reap the rewards. And I think that that's going to be true this fall. And I honestly do think it's going to be difficult. I mean, sometimes you see out there, during the fall time, sometimes it gets really cold, and before the trees and leaves can adjust, they're already shivering and already having a hard time. I honestly think that that's how it's going to be for me. I could go out there tomorrow and it could be 20 degrees and nothing's ready for it, and the leaves can just die instead of changing colors and then falling, which is what they're supposed to do. But with the fall, you never know. And so I was able to think about all this stuff yesterday. It was difficult. I had a time and during my time of reflection, I read a little bit more about spiritual celebrations, just to kind of get my thoughts out. Did a little bit of journaling as well during my reflection time, and it was definitely a good time. I was happy that I had the time actually kind of sit down and put together my thoughts about what's going on. A lot of people don't want to call it the fall, especially in spiritual celebrations, just because the fall represents like literally falling. And lots of people feel like the summertime is the best season, and if that's when they feel like they're at the top of that, like with the sun, like it's the top of the sky or whatever. But that's not necessarily what I believe. The fall is my favorite. Like, I've already given you a few examples of why. I think it's fitting to actually be named, the fall. The leaves fall, but they fall because they're supposed to. Like, they need to fall so they can get back up. Eventually, they're gonna fall so that way they don't die and rot during the upcoming season of winter. Winter is harsh. It's dark and harsh, and the last thing that these leaves and trees want to do is be standing proud. Just waiting for the inevitable to come and just knock them down. And I really like that. Because I feel like the winter time is the harshest season. It's the most darkness. It's the coldest. It feels most lonely. There's the most holidays and being away from my family all the time. And I have limited amount of friends. Like the love and family and feelings and community that I get, I don't have as much of that anymore. So the winter time comes and it is when most of the times I feel like my all-time low. I think it's important to feel like if I do feel like I'm standing tall when the harshest time in my life comes, I feel like it only pushes me right back into the position I was at. So another thing I want to say about the fall that I thought about yesterday is the fact that it's okay to, I don't want to say relapse because that feels like I'm going back into an addiction heavily, but I feel like it is okay for me to change colors or transform or become more accepting of the inevitable that's to come and say, I don't want to be on my high horse. I kind of want to just let these things happen, let what is supposed to happen. Like I said in my last podcast, which I guess you guys haven't seen yet because it's not uploaded until tomorrow on the website and Sunday on YouTube. Like we said, Hakuna Matata. It means no worries for the rest of your days. I think that Hakuna Matata is perfect for the fall because things have to happen to you. You're going to change regardless. And whether you want to help it or not, whether you want to reap the things you're going to get or not, like I think me allowing myself to have that awareness and to have that space to change and to accept the inevitable, I think it'll set me up better for when the inevitable harshest season comes and it's dark and I'm lonely and I'm by myself and, I don't feel any community. I think that's important because it just gives you, it just allows you, it sets you up for exactly like what you need to take care of. So that way you can pack in what you need, eat what you need, and then try and hibernate or hide or whatever the case may be. That might be probably not the best advice that like a therapist would give, like about the fall and the winter time. But I'm not a therapist, I'm not licensed, and I'm not a professional, so I can say what I want, and I can say what I feel. I mean, but I think it's real. I feel like I think it's real. Like things are about to suck. I know it is. I'm going to change for the better and for the worse at the same time. To be honest with you, I'm probably not going to see the better changes. I'll probably only see the worst and focus in on that. But at least right now, I'm telling myself this. At least I had the time yesterday to think about it, so that way during the entire season I can reflect more often and more deeply, and I can be more mindful of my changes. Because then I'll give myself just a little bit more power and a little bit more self-esteem, a little bit more confidence that I can make it through, the fall, and that I will eventually get through the harsh winter. That darkness is scary, but it's better to prepare and come in with a flashlight for when I need the flashlight. Even if the flashlight has low battery, if I need the flashlight, I can use it. I don't want to use all my resources in the beginning of the darkness because then I'll have none left. But, in case I do need it, I'll have it, and I'd rather come in prepared instead of saying, no, I'm going to be good. I'll be able to see. I know my eyesight is good enough, but now I've got 4 eyes. So I guess technically it's not. But if I go in and I'm just trying to be on my high horse and act like, I am the greatest thing because I've had all these different changes and I survived it, I'm going to get knocked down. It's going to happen. And I just rather prepare for that darkness instead. So I think the best time yesterday that I had was actually reflecting, because I tried to do yoga, and first time ever doing yoga. That's one. But second off, my babies don't understand when the time is play and have fun and hang out with daddy. But I'll show a video somewhere, and you can just see how much of a struggle this was. How much of a struggle it was to just do these yoga poses. And I'm like legit getting up, trying to go like get them distracted. Because like one thing I can't do is just like lock them in a room. That's not going to happen. Like they're locked out of this room so I can film, but they have the entire house. But I have this little tiny house, you know, or room. This isn't a house. But, you know, it's just, it was rough. That was difficult. That was definitely something. And like I said earlier in the video, when I said earlier in the video that spiritual celebrations can be rough, difficult, and challenging if you've never like practiced it before, mindfully, if you've never formally practiced it besides like a New Year's celebration, it can be difficult. Yesterday, I'm going to say it was difficult because I wanted to be so formal, and I think, and it being so formal, it became more difficult because I had these times set for which the only thing I really needed the specific time for was the sunrise yoga. And I wanted to do yoga while the sun rose or like right after sunrise, which I did. I attempted to, like I said in this video. But yeah, I really wish that I had more experience in it because I was supposed to do a hike as well. And then I had, maintenance coming. I was supposed to have a harvest dinner, a potluck harvest, or harvest potluck, whatever it's called, where I invite friends over and we all eat. One, ain't got that many friends. Two, the few friends I do have work. And three, eating, we already know. We already know that's difficult for me, like eating. And so, I did eat yesterday. I think I said, me and my psychologist had a deal that for the last 3 days, I would eat 2 times a day and a snack. And I definitely accomplished it. Not the snack the first 2 days. I got the snack. I remember the snack yesterday. I didn't eat a full meal, but I definitely ate 2 different times, in the morning and in the night. And I was supposed to also have a bonfire, but I took, instead of a bonfire, because I don't have a fire pit and I'm not supposed to have one here, I just sat in front of my fireplace and I just did a little bit more reflecting, which I wanted to have it with friends, but again, friends work. But so there was some good events, and I think the most fruitful events, the best events that I had were definitely taking my time in the morning to reflect, and then in the evening to reflect as well. And it was good. I'm excited to. I'm excited for the fall. I'm definitely excited for my birthday season and my birthday month, October, guys. So yeah, I'm content with what happened yesterday. I'm accepting of what is to come for this season, and I am ready. I'm ready to have my winter equinox or winter solstice celebration, because I know I'm gonna need a lot of support then, and I know that one is not gonna be as solitude, alone, whatever the word, is not gonna be as by myself as a fall one was. I'm going to need support for that one. But I want to try and do another formal celebration within that time. Probably one for my birthday or one for Thanksgiving or Halloween or something like that. I'm not sure what. But if you guys have any ideas, please put them in the comments as well. This video will be posted to my website, my creator page on my website, and to YouTube. If you are interested in helping support the channel, please subscribe to the Mental Lab. Also, check out the website. There's always things changing. I'm always learning more about editing and doing other types of things. So always consistently check that out. Right now, there's a link on the website for a mental health assessment. It's not something that is like gonna diagnose you, but it's just gonna kind of give you some advice. I'd recommend taking it. It's super quick, super easy, super free. And I'll probably leave it up there for a good while until the next thing comes. But I took it on the podcast for this week. Me and Tati took it, and it was definitely some good stuff. So make sure you check it out. I'm gonna try and get this video uploaded today. Editing. Besides that, guys, just please have a safe weekend. Have an amazing fall. and just show your support to somebody out there who you know might be struggling or having a hard time, because we don't need to lose anybody else to this war, on mental health. And I mean, that includes addictions, disorders, disabilities. There's so many things that it includes. So please, give them some support. And if at the very least you identify that they're having a hard time, please direct them to our website, officialmentallab.com/resources, to get them some help. There's so many different resources on there that help out. So I just want to say, get them that help, get them the resources. Be looking forward to, because pretty soon we're gonna have some merch. Cannot wait for that. So it's probably gonna include a bunch of the quotes we've had thus far, some logos, some little cute stuff. So yeah, guys, I enjoyed doing this little vlog. I really hope it wasn't that long. I'm horrible on time. I want it to be like 5 to 10 minutes. So anyway, y'all have a good day. Be safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.